Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Well, we knew this was coming, right? Here's the headline from the Daily Huddle. SEC officially files suit against Ripple, alleges XRP is a security to this day. So we didn't know for sure it was going to be today, but it seemed quite imminent based on the fact that just yesterday, Brad Garlinghouse and the Ripple team publicly announced that they knew the SEC was about to sue them for selling allegedly unregistered securities. So there's a lot to talk about here. There's a pretty well-known lawyer in the world of crypto who says the real question now is, will XRP be delisted from exchanges? And so in his mind, this is something that's actually possible. Now, is it something that's likely? I don't know if likely is the right word. Is it something that should happen? In my humble opinion, absolutely not. And then, I don't know, but will it? Well, I'll break it down. I'm skeptical of the idea of that, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. And another thing that popped up just in less than an hour ago, actually. And so as I was finalizing the mapping out of the content that I'm recording this evening, came across a new piece written by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, titled "The SEC's Attack on Crypto in the United States." And I haven't read this yet, so we're going to experience this together. This will be the last part of the video. I'm going to go through the whole thing so you can get my initial reaction on the fly. Normally, I read everything before I record videos, and if I don't, then I'm just upfront about it. But, you know, there are time constraints at play, so it's either I'm covering this or I'm not, you know. But I did find this interesting. Check this out. Galgatron read this piece, and here's what he wrote. This is why I'm really looking forward to finding out what the hell's in this thing. Because Galgatron, notable popular member within the XRP community, wrote, "Wow, SEC enforcement is seriously just a mafia at this point, coming for protection money from Brad and Chris before even publicizing the case. What a shakedown." So I can't wait to see what's in this thing, because if that's the case, that sounds just completely reprehensible and immoral. It's astonishing what is happening here. And so there's so much to cover. I quickly realized that I'm going to have to break this coverage out into two videos, because otherwise I'll probably realistically have a 40 or 50 minute video. And I know that the XRP community, from the feedback I've been getting, prefers videos that are not quite that long, which is why most of mine probably average out to about 15 minutes. Some are less, some are more, but usually somewhere around there. And look, I know that people are scared. You know how I know that holders of XRP are scared? Because XRP has been dumping in price. You can see XRP, as I record this, it's at 41.4 cents. Am I afraid? Nope. No. And I'm going to articulate why. I'm probably not going to delve as much into that in this video, but my very next video I'm putting out after this one on the same topic, I'm going to fully articulate why, as well as opinions from others that are in the know, including some well-known people within the XRP community. But no, but suffice it to say, no, I'm not afraid. It's not, XRP is not going away. It's a global decentralized cryptocurrency. It's solving a real world problem, even if, and it's a long shot, even if XRP were to be declared a security. Well, that didn't, then Ripple, frankly, depending on how severe the things go, once litigation ensues, it's probably going to be the case that they just have to register in a particular way in order to sell the damn thing. But I suspect, what's going to happen. You know what I think is going to happen? This is my for fun guess. It's the early stages, so I may very well change my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and guess, at least pointing away, that we're just going to see a settlement and move on. And I'll articulate the reasons why I believe that in the next video. But I'll happy to cite it right here. But there you go. XRP dumped down to 41.4 cents, and it's not moving with the rest of the market. And so this is a clear indication that it's because of this news. And so Jay Clayton with the SEC putting this out here, he's shaking people out of XRP, and it's just kind of gross to me. It really is here. And look, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, so don't buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I also do not have a law background, so there's another reason not to buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. And I'm also not even a damn accountant. There you go. I just think it's fun to talk about this stuff as a hobby. I'm just as interested as you. And I came across this tweet from Ripple CTO David Schwartz, who is one of the creators of the XRP ledger and XRP, which is native to the ledger. And he wrote the following: "The United States is one of the few countries where regulators will, after years of you operating in full light of day and frequently updating them on everything you're doing, turn around and tell you that you should have known you were breaking decades-old laws all along. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. That's what happened. Look, Ripple has been the most transparent company in all of blockchain. There isn't even a close second. And still this happened. It's mind-boggling. And the fact that the SEC would wait so many years, think about it, because look, they were going after people that launched in 2017 ICOs. And so that they tackled almost immediately, and then now they're waiting as Jay Clayton's on the way out of his term with the change in administration. Now this is the time? What the hell is going on there? And so here's the lawyer I was talking about. This is Jake Chervinsky, and I've highlighted some of what he said on the channel before. He's well known in the world of crypto. In fact, there was I'm not going to get into it in this video, but there was other regulatory concerns having to do with FinCEN and not content for this video again, but even Brian Armstrong, a Coinbase CEO, was retweeting this guy's opinions, and so he seems to be rather well respected. And here's what he had to say as far as the idea of XRP being on cryptocurrency exchanges. We'll have plenty of time to talk about the merits of the SEC's Ripple enforcement action after the complaint comes out. Right now, the big question is if centralized exchanges will delist XRP while the case is pending. I bet a lot of lawyers are setting emergency calls right now. And so I was thinking about that. Look, I don't know. I'd kind of be surprised if they had some sort of knee-jerk reaction. First of all, it wouldn't be good for business, and it makes me wonder from a legal perspective to what degree it's like they'd be admitting fault, because if these things weren't supposed to be out in the wild, and look, I don't have a law background, it's just a question that I'm asking. It's like, did you do something wrong, exchanges, by listing this? And the answer may very well be yes, because Coinbase, it's pretty damn clear that part of the reason that XRP was not listed sooner than it was that concern about is it a security, right? And so I don't know. I want to hear from lawyers out there. I know there's all sorts of people from all walks of life that listen to this channel. I would love to hear in the comment section, if you're a lawyer, if this is your background, what you actually think about this. But Jake Chervinsky here thinks it's possible that XRP could be delisted. But what would that look like even? Look, XRP is being traded on probably like a couple hundred exchanges the world over. And if any exchanges are to remove it, I fully expect that it would only be exchanges in the United States, because otherwise, why would you do that? I also wouldn't expect some of the bigger ones that are partnered with Ripple, like Bittrex and Bitstamp. Look, those are on-demand liquidity partners. If you delist that, then on-demand liquidity, you're just shutting down a corridor. And I don't believe for a moment that's going to happen. I can't imagine. I think that if you're Bitstamp in particular, which is where most of the volume flows through to a Mexican exchange, Bitso. I think that you'd rather get sued, seriously, than give up this golden goose here, because you're making money on the buying and selling of this, and it's just the beginning. And so to shut down that entire business model, at least in the corridor for them, like that would be kind of devastating. That's the most important corridor that Ripple has developed here. And so no, I don't suspect that would happen. I think that they would fight it tooth and nail before it ever came to something like that. It'd be crazy. And again, even if you do see, fine, it's possible. Even if you do see any exchanges delist XRP, it would probably just be temporary until this is all settled, and I don't think it would be many exchanges. So, would it be something that's earth-shattering, and is it something that would render XRP useless, or make it so that the long-term viability of XRP is no longer intact? No, I personally don't believe so. I just don't see it. I really don't. Here's another tweet from Jake Chervinsky. The SEC has officially filed suit against Ripple, alleging that XRP was and still is an unregistered security sold unlawfully from 2013 to present day. In a rare move, the suit also charges Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson in their individual capacity. And so that's why I can't wait to read this last bit with you towards the end of this video here and see if is there actually a shakedown happening, because apparently it's not common. And even Jake Chervinsky said, yeah, this is not a normal thing. It's on your screen right here. So yeah, so you can see here, one of the things I wrote is charging individuals is quite rare and the most noteworthy tidbit we've seen so far. And that was written before the complaint actually came out, which it did shortly after that. And so there we are. And so into the piece from the Daily Hodl, SEC officially files suit against Ripple, alleges XRP is a security to this day. And make sure that you hang out with me for the rest of this video, because we're going to hear some serious defense from Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple. I'm just saving that part towards the end, just making sure we're properly setting the table. And so here you go. The SEC has officially filed its lawsuit against the San Francisco-based payments company Ripple. The suit alleges that XRP was an unregistered security upon its launch and remains a security to this day. It also names Ripple Chief Executive Officer Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen in their individual capacity. Here's a quote from it. From at least 2013 through the present, defendants sold over 14.6 billion units of a digital asset security called XRP in return for cash or other consideration worth over 1.38 billion United States dollars to fund Ripple's operations and enrich Larsen and Garlinghouse. Defendants undertook this distribution without registering their offers and sales of XRP with the SEC as required by the federal securities laws, and no exemption from this requirement applied. Because Ripple never filed a registration statement, it never provided investors with the material information that every year hundreds of other issuers include in such statements when soliciting public investment. Instead, Ripple created an information vacuum such that Ripple and the two insiders with the most control over it, Larsen and Garlinghouse, could sell XRP into a market that possessed only the information defendants chose to share about Ripple and XRP. Ripple engaged in this illegal securities offering from 2013 to present, even though Ripple received legal advice as early as 2012 that under certain circumstances, XRP could be considered an investment contract and therefore a security under the federal securities laws. Ripple and Larsen ignored this advice and instead elected to assume the risk of initiating a large-scale distribution of XRP without registration. The SEC says Ripple used the money it raised through a years-long offerings of unregistered securities to fund the company without disclosing how it was doing so. And I know this is like infuriating anybody that's been following this, like me, for example. And this is why I wanted to share at the outset that tweet from David Schwartz. He's like, yeah, we've been telling them everything, and they led us to believe it was fine. Completely reprehensible, right? Anyway, but here's more from the suit. Meanwhile, Larsen, Ripple's initial chief executive officer and current chairman of the board, and Garlinghouse, Ripple's current CEO, orchestrated these unlawful sales and personally profited by approximately $600 million from their unregistered sales of XRP. Garlinghouse did so while repeatedly touting that he was very long XRP, meaning he held a significant position he expected to rise in value without disclosing his sales of XRP. Can I just pause right there and just note that he said that he's also very long Bitcoin? That in and of itself, holy freaking hell. My gosh, it's just absurd on its face. But anyway, defendants continue to hold substantial amounts of XRP and, with no registration statement in effect, can continue to monetize their XRP while using the information asymmetry they created in the market for their own gain, creating substantial risk to investors. And so here's the thing. Look at what they're going after, and it was at the, I think it's in that piece too, but let me scroll. It was at the very bottom of this this is rather long. Hold on. It's down here though. They get down to potential penalties here. What do they call this little heading? Yeah, there you go. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, the Commission respectfully requests that the court enter a final judgment, permanently enjoining defendants and each of their respective agents, servants, employees, attorneys, and other persons in active concert or participation with any of them from violating directly or indirectly, and then they cite the sections, including by delivering XRP to any persons or taking any other steps to affect any unregistered offer or sale of XRP. And look, so like, imagine if Ripple is no longer allowed to sell XRP. So they can't, so the loan program would probably be gone. They couldn't even really juggle, XRP liquidity around, And so so again, it would only affect these, the quarters which has happened. And I don't like, this is like draconian. So this is what their starting point is. This is not, first of all, they'd lose if it went to court, I certainly suspect. And I'll get into more so why in the second video I post about this topic. But I still think it's much more likely for a number of reasons that you're going to just see a settlement instead. And we'll get into why in the second video here. But anyway, they have this little section 2-part. Ordering defendants to disgorge all ill-gotten gains obtained within the statute of limitations with prejudgment interest thereon, pursuant to, and then they name the sections. So think about that. All the money that they've acquired as a result of all of this is supposed to be given back. Now, mind you, what Ripple has done with any proceeds they've gotten from XRP is they've fostered a healthy environment for the XRP ecosystem, so it's already been dispersed. So what are you going to do? This isn't happening, guys. This isn't happening. I can't imagine this. I get why people are scared, and I can see why the price of XRP dropped. Bad news matters. The good news over the last 8 years hasn't mattered a whole lot, but the bad news, it scares people, and then that shakes them out of their positions. But I get it. I don't, anybody that's scared for this, I totally sympathize. I can understand why you'd want to do that, but I don't think that this is gonna, I don't think it's gonna end well for the SEC. I think it's gonna be just fine for Ripple. We'll get into it though. So a shout out to Frecky also for tagging me in this. Shortly before I was about to record this thing, which is why I haven't read this next part yet, but it linked to the tweet from Brad Garlinghouse, who wrote the following. Ripple has spent 8 years working tirelessly to build an incredible company transforming global payments. Our mission doesn't stop. Here's what I sent to employees yesterday, plus our lawyer's reaction to today's SEC filing. And this is the piece I'm about to cover and read for the first time, even myself. And this is what, again, Galgatron wrote about, and he said, wow, SEC enforcement is seriously just a mafia at this point, coming for protection money from Brad and Chris before even publicizing the case. What a shakedown. This is going to be interesting. Let's experience this one together, guys. Again, written by Brad Garlinghouse. Today, here's the note I sent to Ripple employees yesterday. We remain confident, after reviewing the SEC's complaint today, that we are on the right side of the law and of history. Also, more reaction to today's filing from our lawyers. And there's 2 bullet points. Here's the first bullet point from Ripple lawyers. The SEC is completely wrong on the facts and law, and we are confident we will ultimately prevail before a neutral fact finder. XRP, the 3rd largest virtual currency, with billions of dollars in trading every day, is a currency like the SEC has deemed Bitcoin and Ether, and is not an investment contract. This case bears no resemblance to the initial coin offering cases the SEC has previously brought and stretches the Howey standard beyond recognition. And that's a quote from Andrew Cheresny of Debevoise, I guess is how you say that, and Plimpton. That's a fun name, Plimpton. It sounds, I don't know, comical. That's good. I'm Mr. Plimpton. Blah, 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 blah. All right, second bullet point. This complaint is wrong as a matter of law. Other major branches of the U.S. government, including the Justice Department and the Treasury Department's FinCEN, have already determined that XRP is a currency. Transactions in XRP thus fall outside the scope of the federal securities laws. This is not the first time the SEC has tried to go beyond its statutory authority. The courts have corrected it before it will do so again. And that's from Michael Kellogg, Hansen, Todd, Figgle, and Frederick. Very lawyery firm name. Perfect. Telling you, that's the way to do it. Just get 5 dudes' last names and just slap them together. Bam. Bam. That's a law firm. And so here's what Brad Garlinghouse wrote. Hi, Ripplers. In my 5+ years at Ripple, I've seen an incredible amount of progress, innovation, and growth. This year alone, we brought the market new products and features leveraging XRP, like line of credit, enabling a better payments experience for our customers and their customers. Interestingly enough, after all these years, it's the 2 things that have not changed that stand out to me the most. 1, our vision, the Internet of Value, and 2, the fact that XRP is a currency and not a security. It's unequivocally the best digital asset for payments. As you read on, know that today, maybe more than ever, I continue to vehemently believe this. By the way, just a side note, Brad Garlinghouse, I have seen interviews where he has cited that XRP is not a currency, but I can see for legal reasons he does need to cite it there. But to be clear, when he was citing that, what he really meant by it, and context does matter, what he meant by it was not the legal classification. What he meant by it was that XRP is not functionally being used as money. But the legal qualifier here is that it is a currency, as so stated by the federal government. So I just wanted to acknowledge that because Brad Garlinghouse has stated it's not a currency, but context matters, guys. Anyway, here I'm going to continue on with what he wrote. We've always said that there is a lack of regulatory clarity for crypto in the US, and the SEC here in the United States has sat back and watched for years. In fact, the discussion around why XRP is a currency and not a security is one we have been having with the SEC for nearly 3 years, and yet we've never been met with clarity. We have, however, explained that XRP is not a security because, among other things, number one, XRP is not an investment contract. XRP holders do not share in the profits of Ripple or receive dividends, nor do they have voting rights or other corporate rights. Purchasers receive nothing from their purchase of XRP except the asset. In fact, the vast majority of XRP holders have no connection or relationship with Ripple whatsoever. Number two, Ripple, our company, has shareholders. If you want to invest in Ripple, you do not buy XRP, but rather shares in Ripple. Number three, unlike securities, the market value of XRP has not been correlated with Ripple's activities. Instead, the price of XRP is correlated to the movement of other virtual currencies. And that's just an undeniable fact of life. It's still amazing to me that people can stare at a chart if they have human eyeballs and half of a brain and still insist that XRP moves on its own. It's like, holy freaking hell, zoom out on a chart. Do you know how to do that? If not, I might be willing to help if you ask nicely. Anyway, he continues. As you all know, we have always tried to over-communicate, be as transparent as possible, and explain how we think about the long-term value of XRP. We have always worked to partner with regulators. We have proactively partnered globally, and even here in the US, cooperating and acting in good faith with the SEC. Even while these conversations have dragged on, we were ready and willing to continue the dialogue. Unfortunately, in this lame duck status as Chairman Jay Clayton exits, he has decided to make very serious allegations, which suggest that Ripple, Chris Larsen, and I have violated the Securities Act. I expect the SEC will share that filing publicly in the next couple of days, so I wanted to give you all a heads up. But please keep this internal only for now. You should also know and expect that the SEC will likely do everything they can to paint Ripple, Chris, and me in the worst possible light. Quotes could be taken out of context, personal details may be shared, etc. To be clear, this is all based on their illogical claim that XRP is, in their view, somehow the functional equivalent of a share of stock. What's more, for them to say that XRP has been a security all along and that Ripple, Chris, and I should have known makes absolutely no sense, particularly when the U.S. Treasury and U.S. Department of Justice have long ago concluded that XRP is a currency. Our entire AML/BSA compliance program is built on the fact that XRP is a currency. When you marry this with the fact that many other G20 governments call XRP a currency, it is truly confounding that the SEC would take this step. Chris and I had the option to settle separately. Oh, that's where we're getting into it. Check this out. Okay, Chris and I had the option to settle separately. This is what Galgatron was talking about. We could do that, and it would all be behind us. Not happening. That's how confident Chris and I are that we are right. Holy hell. Think about that. So what they were trying to do is shake down, I'll take Brad at his word, shake down Chris and Brad. So then there would have been some sort of settlement. I don't know for sure. Who knows? Maybe there would have been something included. I don't know if there would have been an admission of guilt, this or that. I don't know if that would have been part of it. And then Ripple, they would have gotten shaken down for money, and then Ripple would have to battle this thing, and then the SEC would be able to say, but see, look, your CEO and previous CEO, who's also on the board now and co-founder of Ripple, they both are they didn't think that they could defend it. Can you imagine what that would have looked like? Oh my, that is slimy. That is terrible. That's what Galgatron was talking about. That is disgusting, guys. Whew. Anyway, he continues here. We will aggressively fight and prove our case. Through this case, we will get clear rules of the road for the industry here in the U.S. We are not only on the right side of the law, but we will be on the right side of history. Let me be clear. Ripple, Chris, and I may be the ones named in the filing, but this is an assault on crypto at large. In this case, XRP is a proxy for every other altcoin in the space. From there, you have a snowball effect. This isn't good news for any market maker, exchanges like Coinbase, etc. And how about that? I was even talking about them earlier. Can you imagine? See, that's exactly what I'm talking. This would be disastrous, and that's also again why I'd be surprised if an exchange based on this filing removed XRP from being traded, because it just looks like an admission of guilt, like they're acknowledging that XRP is a security when clearly it's not. But anyway, piece continues. This sets a terrible industry-wide precedent for any company working with a digital asset. With this allegation, coupled with the SEC's good housekeeping seal of approval bestowed upon ETH and Bitcoin only, directly benefiting China, they're creating an unfair advantage to companies here in the United States and dramatically benefiting Bitcoin and ETH. It's just incredible that the SEC, a U.S. regulator, is in the business of picking winners in this industry, or really any industry, and disadvantaging companies here in the United States. Interestingly, Jay Clayton has been incredibly focused on showing a legacy of supporting innovation. Despite what he would like the public to think, it's obvious the SEC is not at all committed to fostering innovation in the digital asset space. With this behavior, the SEC is engaged in an all-out attack on the crypto industry. That will be Jay Clayton's true legacy. It's incredibly frustrating. There's a massive opportunity up for grabs to be the global leader and win the new technological and economic Cold War. Instead, the SEC is way out of step with what other governments are doing, ignoring the very positive macro trendline and incredible potential and existing utility of crypto. The crypto industry can and will thrive, but this will push innovation outside of the US. It's very interesting, but not surprising, that the lame duck Trump administration is making consequential decisions that will jam up the Biden administration, which will increase the focus on consumer protection and transparency. The timing is really quite remarkable. Like I said, I think the claims are misguided and defy basic logic. Regardless, I've obviously never had an assertion like this before, and I'm taking it very seriously. I hope that you all understand the gravity of the situation too. What I don't want is for you to worry. We will get through this, and we will prove our case in court. We have a phenomenal legal team, and like I said, we are on the right side of the law to begin with. Know, however, that the legal system is slow, and this is just the beginning of a long civil process. And that's why I mentioned in my video yesterday when I first talked about this, when the news broke, I was like, yeah, don't be surprised if this goes on for a year or two or three. Hopefully not that long, especially if there's going to be a settlement, then perhaps it could happen sooner than later, but we'll see here. And then he wraps up by stating the following. No matter what twists and turns are ahead, we will stand by our employees, shareholders, and customers. It's still business as usual. We need to stay focused and continue to deliver the value that hundreds of customers around the globe have come to expect from Ripple. Although the SEC's decision brings an even greater sense of urgency to our decision whether to move our HQ outside the United States, we also look forward to working with the new Biden administration to see if we can find a rational path forward here. Nothing will fundamentally alter our trajectory. We are extremely fortunate to be in a position that we can fight this and aggressively defend our company, this team, our products, and, at a fundamental level, the industry as a whole. Best, Brad. Wow, guys. That's powerful stuff right there. And as far as somebody is saying towards the end, the fact that they're able to fight this, it's because they've got more money than God. And I'm thankful for that. You know, then they do it. Not just that, obviously, a stellar team in place. They would not be hiring a law firm, for instance, that only had 4 last names instead of 5, which is clearly the case here. I'm teasing. That is something, though. That's, wow. Look, this is much longer than a typical Moon Lambo video, which is why I knew I was going to have to break it up. So I'm going to have another one coming out very shortly. I'm going to start recording it as soon as I've got this one uploaded. But I want to share with you reasons why it's highly unlikely that that this could possibly be long-term detrimental. I also want to share with you how people in the world of crypto have responded, because some people have been the trolls that you wish they weren't, and it's just displaying their true character, or perhaps I should say lack of character, and how they're just gleeful about this happening here, all the while not understanding that if this goes the way that they think they want it to, it's going to be really bad for them and crypto at large. And so I think they're clueless, emotionally responded because it's the types that say down with banks and down with government, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me to the end. I'm going to wrap up here, but I will be out shortly with another video on this exact topic because there's a lot more to talk about still. So thanks again for spending time and give me an opportunity to break it down and share some thoughts. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next lawsuit, to the moon, Lambo!